The Oklahoma City Thunder traded all defensive wing Lu Dort to the Atlanta Hawks in a three-team deal that sent three second-round picks to Oklahoma City. 2024 number one overall pick Zachary Richichet to the Mavericks and Ryan Nembhard to Atlanta on Sunday. Oklahoma City has now acquired 7 second-round picks while going under the second apron, shedding $200 million this offseason via the trades of Dort, Isaiah Joe, and Aaron Wiggins. So, Lu Dort is the newest Atlanta Hawk, along with Ryan Nembhard as well. Zachary Richichet will be going over to the Mavericks to join Cooper Flagg and Cooper Flagg and Kyrie Irving and crew over there with the Dallas Mavericks. And the Oklahoma City do what they do best and get some more picks in the process. I would like to say that I like this trade on all fronts for all teams involved. I like the trade for every team involved. The Oklahoma City does a phenomenal job. They do a great job as far as acquiring picks. And it's almost a funny thing because now that Oklahoma City has, reached the point of them actually being competitive, them not having to stack picks to go get players because they've already reached the point of being NBA champions already. It's funny the fact that they still keep like that priority, like in that organization, like one of their main priorities is stacking picks, making sure they keep their assets in order, making sure that picks are definitely still in the tank, that they can do things with, that they can trade for players if they want to. They can trade picks to other teams if they want to. They can always trade the younger players they have for more picks like they did with Lu Dort. And I just love the fact that they're keeping that priority in their organization because a lot of times, and we've seen it a lot in the NBA and NFL and a lot of sports. Normally when a team, I call it pick stacking. Normally when they pick stack like this, they do it to a point to get to a goal. So what happens is, like the Oklahoma City Thunder did, they win a championship and then the pick stacking just goes out the window. They be like, all right, we got a championship. Let's go ahead and trade all of our picks and try to get all these star players. And then what ends up happening is you mess up the chemistry. The team ain't the same no more because it's the whole team is going to be full of a bunch of like experienced, disgruntled stars probably that you were able to trade for. So now you got all these great players, but now none of these players have chemistry with the younger guys you have, with the people who actually, kick-started this team with you. Like, how do you know these veterans that you're trading for are going to have chemistry with SGA and Jalen Williams? How you know they're going to have chemistry with these guys? So I love the fact that the Thunder are keeping it organic with how they're handling their organization. Like, they know that one of the things they like to do is have younger players in the organization and picks. They like to pick stack and have picks already ready to go for when they do need to trade for like a defensive player, or when they do need to trade for a center, or they do need to trade for, a mid-season acquisition of a small forward. They can take a couple of them picks they got, send them to a team that probably don't have no picks and say, hey, we got these picks for you. Look, we know no other team can give you these picks that we've been stacking up. So, hey, we got these picks for you. All right, let's get that small forward. Let's get that power forward because we got the picks to do it. So let's send them picks over there, get that small forward, and now we can keep rolling in our season. And that's how it goes with any area of concern with the Thunder. If they ever are concerned throughout the course of a season, they got the picks to where they know they can go get any player they need throughout the course of a season. So that's what makes them so dangerous. So I like their side of the deal. For the Mavericks, them getting Zach, I happen to love. Once again, he's a former number one overall pick. Just give you guys an idea of what he averaged last year. Last year, he had 9.6 points, 3.8 rebounds, 1 assist per game, 0.9 steals per game, a half a block a game, in 22 minutes per game. Shot 45% from the field, 36% from the three-point line, 64% from the free throw line. It had a 55.7 true shooting percentage. So wasn't the best, wasn't the worst. He also managed to come off the bench as well. So for a bench player, that's not the worst. Not the worst you can do. Not the best, obviously, but it's manageable for a rookie player, because one of the things you gotta kind of have to keep mind of with younger players, rookies, stuff like that. A thing that I always try to keep in mind. I never try to say, and I don't care who the rookie is. It could be Cooper Flag. It could be an undrafted player, regardless. Like it does. And I'm not saying it was Cooper Flag. I'm just saying his level of hype. It could be whoever. I never go into a season saying, "Oh yeah, this rookie he gonna carry them to the playoffs. He gonna do all that." I never do that because what you do at that point is that you're setting that rookie up to fail. Or that younger player up to fail, because if they don't do that, then it's like, oh man, they disappointed the team, or they disappointed the expectations. When in reality, they really didn't. They just really disappointed your expectations, what you expected them to do. They disappointed what people hyped them up to do. Oh yeah, he was supposed to carry them to the playoffs, even though the team missed the playoffs by a long shot last year, had no chance of making it. But he was supposed to take all of this underwhelming talent as a rookie player and just carry them to the playoffs. That's not how it works. Like sometimes, yeah, but it's not how it normally works. Like you really have to be a different breed to be able to like do that, because that's a special thing that not too many rookies get a chance to do. So I never try to put too many expectations on a rookie or a younger player. I just kind of deal with it from the aspect of whatever that rookie gives you, there's a positive in it. So what Zach gave the Hawks last year, there was a positive in it. He showed he know how to play his role. He showed that he doesn't mind coming off the bench. He doesn't mind, being like, oh, this young phenom player, but he's not the star on the team. And shout out to John Wall, because John Wall said something on a podcast a while back, and he was saying how a lot of players who are very talented don't last in the NBA because they're so used to being the guy, so used to being like the star on the team, the star on the AAU team, the star on the high school team, all that. Like, you've been a star your whole life. So when you get to the NBA and you get to that point to where you're not the guy anymore, you're around all these other talented players and they're putting you on the bench and you got to come off the bench, and it tends to mess with people's heads. And for the people that can't manage that, they don't last in the NBA very long. That's what his point was. Pause. Zach has already shown that he doesn't mind, taking that back seat. Pause. He doesn't mind letting the veterans or letting the players older than him or the players that are more experienced than him actually have those opportunities to play and start and stuff like that. He doesn't mind doing that. If it means for the betterment of the team, he's fine with it. He's already shown he doesn't mind doing that. So I think that's going to help tremendously with the Mavs, because once again, they're kind of like the Hawks in a way, because they're a younger team. They have a veteran in Kyrie, but they're a younger team. They have veterans, but for the most part, they're a younger team. They got a lot of young talent, and Zach has a chance not to be one of the standout talents on that team. So there's a chance that he's going to have to take a back seat, pause, once again, but he's already shown he doesn't have a problem with that. So for the Mavericks, I feel like they're getting a great player as well, and a great team-oriented player as well. So I think they had a good outcome in this deal as well. Now for the Atlanta Hawks, last but certainly not least, I love what the Atlanta Hawks have cooking here in Atlanta, and here's why. Because in all the great years that Trae Young was an Atlanta Hawk, let me give you guys a little bit of backstory. And this is no flack against Trae Young, no flack against anyone on the team at that time, because the team was a good team. However, all those Trae Young years, all those years where Trae Young had great seasons and he energized, and I'll give Trae Young all the credit for that in the world. Like, Trae Young energized, and I had a chance to watch it. He energized the fans, and the supporters of the Atlanta Hawks were energized and refreshed when Trae Young put on that Atlanta Hawks jersey and literally showed the supporters what he could do. It energized the fan base of the Atlanta Hawks. It did. 100%, I give him credit for that. Look, Trae Young always gets my respect for that, and I still rock with Trae Young to this day. I think Trae Young and Anthony Davis going to have a great season out there in Washington. That's just my personal opinion. I think in Washington, they're going to have a great season, and the Wizards going to be cooking for the most part this year. That's my personal opinion, though. That's just me. But I love Trae Young. However, what the Trae Young years made me realize is while they did have great seasons like the 2021 year where they managed to beat the Sixers down 3-1 and they managed to come back against the Sixers and had a great chance to end up going to the finals as well. But what those Trae Young years showed me was maybe the Atlanta Hawks are one of those teams, kind of like a OKC, kind of in a way of maybe their thing isn't star players. And here's what I mean by that. In all of those Trae Young years, they made the playoffs without needing to play in one time. One time they made the playoffs without needing to play in. Basically what that means is one time, only once, did they make the playoffs without needing to play an extra game or extra games to get into the playoffs. Only one time did they straight up make the playoffs. That was in 2021 where they beat the Sixers. In the year without Trae Young, which was this past season where they traded Trae Young in the middle of the season, they made the playoffs straight up. They didn't have to play no play-in, didn't have to play no extra games. They made the playoffs straight up. And I'm not, and I don't want to say it's not Trae Young, it's not any. This is no individual player's blame or nothing like that. Trae Young is a great player. He's a great, in my opinion, a great Atlanta Hawk, in my opinion, for what he did for the organization. Like, he's a great Atlanta Hawk. It's no flack on him at all. Shout out to Trae Young. But it's just, I feel like the formula of the Atlanta Hawks kind of is thriving more off role player or supporting cast players or role players. I do. So what I feel like adding an all defensive player like Lu Dort does, it adds to that supporting cast chemistry, because now it's another guy who knows how to play his role, knows what it takes to win, and that's in my opinion, the best part about getting Lu Dort for the Atlanta Hawks. He knows what it takes. I know he's a younger player, but he's been in the NBA for quite a while. So he knows what it takes to win, and he knows what it feels like, Pauls, to win an NBA championship. Get to that ultimate prize of winning the Western Conference Finals and get to the ultimate prize of winning the championship. And you have these great seasons to where you're on a team that's contending and what it takes to contend. Because granted, however young a player is, however, I guess you would say inexperienced, I guess you could say a player is, regardless of all of that, one thing you have to know is players' experience doesn't have age or anything like that, in my personal opinion. It doesn't. So Lu Dort has had a chance to be around SGA, Alex Caruso, had a chance to be around the Oklahoma City Thunder. He's been through the pain of losing, pause, against this year against the Spurs. He's also had the joy of winning an NBA title, but he also had the kind of downslide of losing in the playoffs this past year. So now he's had a taste, pause on that, but he's had a taste, pause, of winning and losing, right? And he knows what it's like to do both things. But now he has the experience of what it takes to win. So now, when he sees the Hawks, who are a young team, when he sees them doing things like, they're not, I'm just using this as an example, but say they're not practicing the right way or practicing how he know they can to be better. He can say, hey, he can speak up and be like, hey, I think we need to go harder in practice, pause. I think we need to step it up in practice. I think we need to do this. I think we need to ramp it up a little bit because, look, if we're not practicing now, I've seen this in the past where we won't be ready come playoff time, and I feel like so we need to kind of implement more, more really intense training sessions to make sure that we're ready come playoff time. Hey, in the games, I feel like we need to kind of implement the support cast players more into the game plan, because I've seen if we get to the playoffs and we start to rely on support cast players, they not going to be ready because they haven't had the regular season reps. He can say those things and give that experience and give that expertise because he knows what it takes. He was in that literal position pause with the Oklahoma City Thunder. He knows the ins and outs, and he's sat in those meetings, sat in those film sessions, sat in those coaches conversation, meetings and stuff with the players. He knows all of that stuff. So he can provide so much experience and so much valuable information to a team like the Hawks, who are a young team. They have veterans, don't get me wrong, but they're a younger team overall. Like, they have veterans like CJ and stuff like that, who is great. And by the way, CJ is a great addition as well on the team for, once again, his experience and his mind. Great experience. But they're a younger team, let's be real, overall. So it's great to have a younger player. He's not as young as some of the players on the team, but he's a younger player. He's not like CJ. No offense, and CJ is a great player still, but he's not like CJ's age. But he's a younger player. So the younger players more than likely will relate to him a little bit more, right? But he's a younger player with that experience. So he's connecting with the players from the aspect of not, oh, I'm a veteran, I've done all this, he's connecting with them from the aspect of, like, yeah, I understand what y'all saying, but hey, I've seen firsthand that if we do this, then we can have more success in wins and getting wins and stacking wins and being a better team overall. And I've seen this firsthand in my time in OKC. Hey, I seen when we did this in OKC, I think that kind of weakens the team a little bit down the stretch of the season. So how about we cut that out a little bit? How about we stop so many days of just doing straight up shoot around? How about we actually have more film session day? Just little things like that, like just helping the team. And I feel like he's going to do a great job of adding to the team. So I think that all teams in this trade did a great job as far as getting what they needed. Like I said, for the Hawks, I'm just thinking that the thing with them is they aren't really good with star players. As much as I would really like the Hawks to have a star player, because if you guys don't know, this offseason the Hawks were discussing potentially getting Jaylen Brown before he went to the Sixers. And I think that would have been great. I do. I think he would have been a great addition to the Atlanta Hawks. And I think he would have done nothing but help them ultimately because he's a younger player, but he has that experience too. So I feel like he would have done nothing but help them. But in the same token, you look at, like I said, those Trae Young years, while Trae Young was a phenomenal player, only one season as a star, and I don't care what nobody says, Trae Young is a star player. I don't look. I get the narrative around Trae Young now, but look, Chill is gonna let his opinion be known. In my opinion, in my view, Trae Young is a star player in this league. Like, bruh, he's a star player in this league. I know people, the defense and success and all that. Yeah, that's cool, but he's a star player in this league. That's what it is. So the same way Ja Morant is a star player in this league. So anyway. Trae Young is a great player, and he was great for the Atlanta Hawks as a star player, but only in one season did they ever make the playoffs just straight up. They, without having to play extra games and do extra things and rely on other teams and stuff like that. Only once did they actually have a chance to straight up make the playoffs. Without having that, I feel like that added pressure of having a star player that you also have to keep happy. I feel like without that pressure, they play better because, once again, in the 1 year they didn't have Trae, they made the playoffs straight up. No play-in needed, nothing. They just made the playoffs straight up. And was the only team, fun fact, was the only team to take games off the New York Knicks besides the San Antonio Spurs in the finals. They're the only team to take games off of the New York Knicks in this playoff season. And once again, that came without no star player really. I mean, because who is the closest star player that you will say on the Hawks, like star player, is what, CJ McCollum? And at this stage, like, CJ is cool, no offense to him. Shout out to CJ McCollum, but he's not where he once was as far as being a star in this league. He's not that same player. He's still talented, but he's not that same level of being a star that he used to be, in my opinion. No offense to him, but he's just gotten older and, that stuff. So he's not the same as he used to be. But that's their closest star player. And they still managed to be the only team to take games off the New York Knicks in this playoff season, other than getting to the finals when the San Antonio Spurs took that game off of them. So I just feel like it's just less pressure on the team as a whole as far as the Atlanta Hawks playing without a star than playing with a star. It's less pressure just without a star, so they can just play freely. And on top of that, Lu Dort is a great defensive player, but he's no slouch offensively. Just to give you guys a little idea before we wrap it up. Last season, he had 8.3 points per game, 3.6 rebounds per game, 1 assist per game, 0.9 steals per game. Had 0.4 blocks per game in 26 minutes per game, shot 38% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, 75% from the free throw line, and had a 52.4 true shooting percentage. So, not the best, not the worst, but hey, he played better than someone who just got a 4-year, $64 million contract than Gary Trent Jr. last year. So, hey, apparently that's pretty valuable right now. No offense to Gary Trent Jr., but, is pretty valuable right now. So he's not the worst offensively, but he's just more of a standout defensive player. And I feel like that's going to add so much value to the Hawks. And I feel like for all the other teams involved, for the Mavericks getting Zach, for the Thunder getting their picks, it's just a great trade all the way around, man. So I happen to love this trade. Y'all can let me know what y'all thought about it in the comments below. Did y'all like it? If you didn't like it, who do you feel like lost or didn't get a good return on their investment in this trade? Y'all let me know in the comments below. But for Chill, I'll see you guys next time, man. And I'm out. Peace.